Horton Hatches the Egg by Dr. Seuss. Second Horton.
Yep. Horton,
Like
book
Horton.
number 2.
It's quite a sweetie, is Horton. He gets taken advantage of a lot, though, doesn't he?
Oh, he does. He's good nature.
Sighed Maisie, a lazy bird hatching an egg. I'm tired and I'm bored and I've kinks in my leg from sitting, just sitting here, day after day. It's work. How I hate it. I'd much rather play. I'd take a vacation, fly off for a rest, if I could find someone to stay on my nest. If I could find someone, I'd fly away, free.
Free, free, set them free. She sounds very lazy, Maisie. Lazy Maisie.
It's her job to look after her baby.
Yeah.
Then Horton the elephant passed by her tree. Hello, called the lazy bird, smiling her best. You've nothing to do and I do need a rest. Would you like to sit on the egg in my nest? The elephant laughed.
Ho, 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 ho! Why, of all the silly things, I haven't feathers, I haven't wings. Me on your egg? Why, that doesn't make sense. Your egg is so small, ma'am, and I'm so immense.
Tut, tut, answered Maisie. I know you're not small, but I'm sure you can do it. No trouble at all. Just sit on it softly. You're gentle and kind. Come, be a good fella. I know you won't mind,
I can't.
said the elephant. Please, begged the bird. I won't be gone long, sir. I give you my word. I'll hurry right back. Why, I'll never be missed.
Oh, it doesn't sound like it's going to be for too long then.
Well,
Just while she has a bit of a break.
yeah, I suppose,
Very well,
said the elephant.
since you insist. You want a vacation? Go fly off and take it. I'll sit on your egg and I'll try not to break it. I'll stay and I'll be faithful. I mean what I say.
Toodaloo, sang out Maisie and fluttered away.
Fluttering with a weird tail.
Yeah,
That's a really weird
didn't
tail.
even wait for him to sit on it.
It's like two ribbons.
Yeah, weird bird, full stop.
The first thing to do,
Murmured Horton.
let's see. The first thing to do is prop up this tree and make it much stronger. That has to be done before I get on it. I must weigh a ton. Oh yeah, that's reinforcing it there. Look. But he's using broken trees to reinforce a living tree. That's not a good idea to me. There's a spotty egg, look. It's red. And, it looks like a mushroom.
Nothing wrong
You know,
with
them red and
mushrooms.
white mushrooms,
Yeah.
the white dots.
Poisonous ones,
Yeah.
usually. Toadstools and all
Yeah,
that.
and all that.
Then carefully, tenderly, gently he crept up the trunk to the nest where the little egg
Yeah,
slept.
she's like creeping up.
Yeah. Surprised it hasn't broken. Magic.
Done a really good job of reinforcing it.
Then Horton the elephant smiled.
Now that's that.
And he sat. And he sat. And he sat.
Yeah.
And he sat.
Okay.
That's a bit unfair, really, because I like to get up and have a move around once I've been sitting for a while.
Yeah, get back.
Yeah. And he sat all that day, and he kept the egg warm, and he sat all that night through a terrible storm.
Yeah, look how bad that is. It red lightning, everything. Rain, big puddles of water.
You're giving away the story there. It poured and it lightninged.
Oh, lightning.
It thundered. It rumbled.
This isn't much fun.
The poor elephant grumbled.
I wish you'd come back, 'cause I'm cold and I'm wet. I hope that Maisie bird doesn't forget. No, I don't think she's forgotten. She don't care.
Yeah.
That's more like it.
Seems
Oh,
to
there
be
you go.
the
Look.
case. Yeah. She's on holiday. Permanently, I think. But Maisie by this time was far beyond reach, enjoying the sunshine way off in Palm Beach.
Palm Beach.
And having such fun, such a wonderful rest, decided she'd never
Never?
go back to her nest.
Well, that's not good.
It's not. Poor Horton.
That sun looks like the Japanese flag.
And that boat underneath it is sinking.
Yeah, it's sinking.
It's been speared by the sun.
Yeah, sinking fast.
And that Maisie's lying in that tree.
Yeah.
Sunning
There's
herself.
some funny looking flowers, isn't they?
Yeah. That's the world of Dr. Seuss.
Oh, look.
Oh, that looks cold.
Yeah.
So Horton kept sitting there day after day, and soon it was autumn. The leaves blew away, and then came the winter. The snow and the sleet and icicles hung from his trunk and his feet. But Horton kept sitting and said with a sneeze,
I'll stay on this egg. I won't let it freeze. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. I'm an elephant's faithful 100%.
oh,
He's
a good elephant.
He is.
I like elephants.
Yeah, heffalumps. I like calling them heffalumps.
I know.
Heffalump.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
So poor Horton sat there the whole winter through, and then came the springtime with troubles anew. His friends gathered round and they shouted with glee, Look! Horton the elephant's up in a tree! They taunted, they teased him, they yelled. You're not supposed to be saying that.
Old Horton the elephant thinks he's a bird. Bird?
Okay.
I was distracted by the weird animals.
It's not the first time you've seen them.
Well, I know, because we had to reread it because the thing stopped recording the first time we did it. But we did notice a knobbly thing on there that looks like a snake on the head.
Yeah.
And we noticed that they got lions and kangaroos in that country, wherever it is. And I thought it might be like, in Australia, the camels escaped into the desert. I reckon there's someone had lions that escaped there. That's in Australia.
If you say so.
It is Australia.
All right.
Because they're known
They
for...
got giraffes in Australia as well,
they're
haven't
giraffes. That's how you tell an Australian one from an African one. They got red antlers on a giraffe in Australia. They don't have red ones in Africa.
Okay.
And they have them in Australia.
Yeah, what is it?
I don't know, but they have all sorts of weird animals in Australia that they don't have anywhere else. So it's definitely Australia.
All right, then. You know what's missing, though, don't you?
Kylie Minogue.
And a duck-billed platypus.
Duck-billed platter, yeah. And a Tasmanian devil.
They laughed.
Oh, that's what that could be, a Tasmanian devil.
No, it's not.
Oh.
And they laughed. Then they all ran away, and Horton was lonely. He wanted to play, but he sat on the egg and continued to say,
I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%.
He certainly is.
Yeah, he is. What's that?
It's
got funny feet.
The rhinoceros.
A rhinoceros.
Yeah, a rhinoceros.
A hippopotamus is hippopotamus translates into water horse, so it could be a
They're
hippopotamus.
from the same family.
Are they?
Yeah.
What cousins?
No, they're horses.
Horses.
Yeah. Distant cousins.
That's a horse moving at us. You see a dick
Okay, all right.
No matter what happens, this egg must be tended.
But poor Horton's troubles were far, far from ended.
Uh-oh.
For while Horton sat there so faithful, so kind, 3 hunters came sneaking up softly behind.
Yeah, we think they're British hunters because they're wearing pith helmets, which is what they used to wear in the olden days when British people went out there. And that's the youngest hunter because he's only got a little moustache.
Matash, yeah.
Yeah, and then that's his daddy one because he's got a slightly bigger moustache. And then that's the granddaddy one because he's got the biggest moustache out of all of them.
Okay.
Moustache.
You know what, though? It's not as big as your moustache.
No, well, that's true. But my moustache goes around my whole face.
Yeah.
And up to my ears.
Yeah.
It goes up to my ears and down to my neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all places in between. He heard the men's footsteps. He turned with a start. 3 rifles were aiming right straight at his heart.
Oh, did you hear that? My phone clicked. When I went like that, my phone clicked. That's because I'm an old person.
Yes,
and when my bones crunch against each other, make clicking noises.
Yes, dear.
Yeah.
Did he run?
He did
not. Horton stayed on that nest. He held his head high and he threw out his chest. And he looked at the hunters as much as to say,
"Shoot if you must, but I won't run away. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful, 100%. And look.
Yep. Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough.
Yeah, he's going, look. He's definitely brave.
Definitely brave, yeah.
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 No, they don't
like
shoot him.
Maisie.
Oh.
But the men didn't shoot. Much to Horton's surprise, they dropped their 3 guns and they stared with wide eyes. Look, they all shouted.
Can such a thing be? An elephant sitting on top of a tree. It's strange, it's amazing, it's wonderful, new. Don't shoot him, we'll catch him, that's just what we'll do. Let's take him alive, why, he's terribly funny. We'll send him back home to a circus for money. Money.
They definitely sound British now.
Yeah.
That's what they do. When they go exploring, they take things from where they've gone exploring and then sell them. Yeah. Just leave them where they are, where they're supposed to be. Oh, look. Bit of prison. Prison on wheels.
Looks like it. And the first thing he knew, they had built a big wagon with ropes on the front for the pullers to drag on. They dug up his tree and they put it inside, with Horton so sad that he practically cried.
We're off!
The men shouted, and off they all went, with Horton unhappy 100%.
Yeah, I'd be unhappy as well. I've noticed that the granddad hunt is not doing a lot. He's smoking a pipe, which you don't see very often nowadays. And the other 2 are doing all the work.
My granddad smoked a pipe.
Do you reckon he's related to Maisie? Lazy Maisie,
Yeah,
not
could
doing
be.
any work? Your granddad?
Yeah, my
Do you remember when we used to smoke? Which one it was?
Virginia, something like
Golden Virginia.
Yeah, that's it. Golden Virginia, I think. It was
No,
anyway.
that's a rolly up one.
Yeah, he put it in his pipe.
I thought Golden Virginia goes and you roll it up in the paper.
Well, I don't know. He's been dead a long time. So, I don't know. I
You
can't
can't
remember.
ask him then.
That's what I thought. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh well.
Up, out of the jungle, up into the sky, up over the mountains 10,000 feet high. Then down the mountains and down to the sea went the cart with the elephant, egg, nest, and tree.
Look, that doesn't look like a very smooth run down.
No, it doesn't.
There's a boat down there though, let's see it. Little red boat.
Doesn't look like a very big boat either.
Oh, look
To be honest.
Oh, that doesn't look very good, does
No,
it?
it doesn't. Not very safe at all.
No.
Then out of the wagon and onto a ship, out over the ocean, and oh, what a trip. Rolling and tossing and splashed with the spray, and Horton said day after day after day.
I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. Oh, I feel seasick. 100%.
Oh, poor Horton. Even though you didn't read the right words, but never mind.
I read all the right words, I just did them in a different order.
Yeah.
Big fishing rod.
It's not quite love. Crane? You should know what a crane looks like.
Yeah, well, I use cranes every day, and none of the cranes I use look anything like that.
After bobbing around for 2 weeks like a cork, they landed at last in the town of New York.
Hang on, Cork's in Ireland. That's where my daddy comes from.
And New York's a city, not a town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All ashore!
The men shouted, and down with a lurch went Horton the elephant, still on his perch, tied onto a board that could just scarcely hold him.
Bump.
Bump! Horton landed, and then the men sold him.
Oh, look. For dollars.
I know.
Look, dollar.
Yeah, not impressed.
And anybody who uses cranes every day would know you do not stand underneath anything when it's being lifted by a crane in case of rope stream snaps.
Yeah.
And then you're underneath it and get squished.
Well,
You don't want to get squished.
no, you don't. But they deserve it. They're not very nice to
No,
Horton.
selling Horton.
Sold to a circus. Then, week after week, they showed him to people at 10 cents a peek.
Peekaboo.
They took him to Boston, to Kalamazoo, Chicago, Weehawken, and Washington too.
I've never heard of Weehawken.
No, I haven't either, actually. To Dayton, Ohio, St. Paul, Minnesota, to Wichita, Kansas, to Drake, North Dakota.
I've heard of North Dakota. It's right next to South Dakota.
Well, let's hope so.
There's no West or East Dakota though.
True that. And everywhere, thousands of folks flocked to see and laugh at the elephant up in a tree. Poor Horton grew sadder the farther he went, but he said as he sat in the hot, noisy tent,
I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. If you was in the East of Dakota or the West of Dakota, you'd have to be in Northwest Dakota or Northeast Dakota or Southeast Dakota or Southwest Dakota. But you can't be in West Dakota or East Dakota.
Are you quite finished? Or do you want to talk about now what you said before?
I don't know, because I can't remember what I said before.
About where they haven't mentioned.
Well, I noticed they haven't mentioned going anywhere sunny like Florida. Florida.
What's in Florida?
Florida's got a place called Palm Butter Beach.
Who's in Palm Beach?
Palm Butter Beach is where that Maisie Lazy is. Lazy Maisie's in Palm Butter Beach.
Okay. As if by magic.
Yeah, as if by magic. We didn't even know that was going to happen.
No, not the first time round anyway.
Shocked. Yeah, no, I didn't know the first time there.
Then, one day, the circus show happened to reach a town way down south, not so far from Palm Beach.
Ooh.
And dawdling along way up high in the sky, who, of all people, should chance to fly by but that old good-for-nothing bird, runaway Maisie, still on vacation and still just as lazy.
Yeah.
And spying the flags with the tents just below, she sang out, "What fun! Why, I'll go to the show."
I'll tell you what we didn't notice last time.
What?
The big wheel's leaking.
That's not a good thing.
There's like the grease in the middle that keeps it going round. And it's leaking something out there.
I don't think it's leaking. I think that's just...
And someone's got a pair of pants on a flagpole.
Fairly sure they're not pants.
You sure?
Yeah.
They look like pants. Look, they've got legs.
No, they haven't. It's just the way they're fastened on.
They don't look very big, the seats you're sitting on the big wheel.
Well,
look how much they're sticking out.
Look at the little people.
Yeah, I know, but look how much they're sticking out the top.
Well, whatever. And she swooped from the clouds through an open tent door, so she didn't even pay her 10 cents.
No, didn't pay 10 cents. Well, where does she keep 10 pence? She's got no she got a pocket.
Matter. Good gracious, gasped Maisie. I've seen you before.
I've seen you before.
Okay. Poor Horton looked up with his face white as chalk. He started to speak, but before he could talk...
That's the same colour face he's had all the way through the book.
Yeah, but he's been sat there for ages, poor thing.
And those twigs are still holding it up, look.
Yeah, they're good strong twigs. There rang out the noisiest ear-splitting squeak!
Squeak!
From the egg that he'd sat on for 51 weeks.
That's nearly a year.
I know. A thumping, a bumping, a wild, alive scratching.
My egg.
Shouted Horton.
My egg is hatching.
Is that him shouting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to do it louder?
That's all right, you've done it now.
You can see it, look.
Yep, it's hatching. But it's mine! Screamed the bird when she heard the egg crack.
It didn't sound like screaming the way you said it.
The work was all done, now she wanted it back.
You've chosen to ignore it.
It's my egg! She sputtered. You stole it from me! Get off of my nest and get out of my tree!
He never stole it. She told him to sit on it.
Poor Horton backed down with a sad, heavy heart.
Oh.
He should have shouted back at her.
He should have stood his ground.
Yeah.
He didn't steal anything. It's a lazy Maisie.
Lazy Maisie, yeah.
Oh!
Oh! But at that very instant, the egg burst apart.
Boing!
And out of the pieces of red and white shell from the egg that he'd sat on so long and so well, Horton the elephant saw something whiz. It had ears and a tail and a trunk just like his.
Got dirty fingernails again. I just cleaned them
Lordy.
yesterday.
Give yourself a wash, will you?
I cleaned them yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
That's what happens when you use cranes to get dirty fingernails. Look at
Baby doll.
yeah, look, they're looking at each other, big
I
smiles on their
know.
faces. You look.
Oh, 51
Lazy
weeks,
Maisie's
he's been
looking a bit
after
shocked
that.
though.
Well, it's her own fault. She should have done a job.
Yeah.
There you go. That's cute. And the people came shouting, "What's all this about?" They looked and they stared with their eyes popping out. Then they cheered and they cheered and they cheered more and more. They'd never seen anything like it before. My goodness, my gracious, they shouted. My word, it's something brand new. It's an elephant bird. And it should be like that. Because Horton was faithful, he sat and he sat. He meant what he said and he said what he meant.
Look very upset there, look.
Well,
Maisie, Maisie.
Right.
And they sent him home happy. 100%. Do you reckon that's a Tasmanian devil on the lion's back?
No, I'll find you a picture later to show you what a Tasmanian devil looks like.
Taz in Tasmania.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's the end.
That's the end.
Quick, get the special effects. The special effects.
Yeah.
As if by magic. If you like the book, click the one that looks like that underneath the
Big thumbs up.
screen. Under the screen, because the screen will be up there. That'll be underneath. And then if you click on that one, and then when the bell comes up, click on the bell. That'll let you know when we do another book. It's free. You know, it says to subscribe. You don't have to pay to subscribe. No, and then if you do really like it, share it with all your friends. Click on share and send it to your friends so they can all watch it as well.
The sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. That's going to be our catchphrase. Caring is sharing. Sharing is caring.